I'm version 6.1 of myself, so we have to go back 61 years. I was born in the UK, and I went to an English grammar school, and I was fairly good at sciences, so I thought I'd be really cool as a doctor. I was influenced by those Doctor in the House movies, and I thought I'd look really cool in a mask. Little did I know I'd spend 2 years wearing one later on in life. The 2 years prior to going to university, they decided to merge the English grammar school with the girls' high school. And I got distracted. I'll leave it to your listeners' imaginations to wonder how I got distracted. But I didn't fail completely. I got enough to get into physiotherapy. So in 1982, I graduated as a physiotherapist. And I set the goal to work in a London teaching hospital because, I wanted to be at the centre. And I did a couple of years at University College Hospital. But I soon got bored of sick people. I was interested, like most men, in sport. And I started working with sports teams. I worked with the First Division Soccer Club. I worked with a ballet company. I worked with Olympic athletes. And this is where the passion, at one point you're patching up an injury, but on the other side, you're preparing people for peak performance. And I started to reach around for what else could I use. I took a postgraduate in traditional Chinese medicine so I could do acupuncture. I started studying psychology, neurolinguistic programming, and it was all about peak performance, and that was my passion. I moved to Australia in 85 and set up a chain of clinics in Australia, and I was helping sports teams. Again, everything from Aussie rules to surfboat crews. That's a pretty tough sport. They really train hard. Anyway, I helped a managing director's sports team win the cup. And I got a phone call from him and said, "You helped my sports team win. Come and work with my management team because they suck." So I said, sure. I took the challenge. I went in, and one of the things that physiotherapy taught me was the art of observation. So instead of having come through a consulting company and have a prescription ready, in medicine, a prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. So I went into that team and I looked, and I had no preconceptions. I didn't have a model. And I could see where they were going wrong. I could see where their communication was failing, where their behaviors were failing, and what the triggers for that was. Because in acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine, it trains you to do systems thinking. And so I mapped out what was going wrong, and I created a program, and that was successful, and I got recommended. And I built a consulting company in Australia. And then I got picked up by Singapore Airlines. And that moved me to Asia, and then with them as a client, that opened up doors. And I've been coaching one-to-one and executive leadership teams ever since then, and I love doing it. Because a lot of people say, oh, you got to follow your passion, but you don't know what your passion is most of the time. I mean, I love the story of Uber. It was not started by two people who were passionate about transportation. It was started by two people who were peed off. They couldn't get a taxi when they came out of a conference in Paris. So often we go as an entrepreneur, we're attracted to something because we see a different way of doing it, and we're detracted from the very thing that we're trained to do. I mean, I never finished my MBA program. I mean, after I started doing all of this consulting work, I had imposter syndrome, and I thought, well, my degrees are in physiotherapy and traditional Chinese medicine. I need a business degree. And so off I went to get an MBA. And I got halfway through the course, and I was finding myself arguing with the professors. I'm saying, look, this is great theory, but it doesn't work in practice. And I had a great professor who said, "You've got some good ideas, Andrew. Why don't you go and write your own book?" And I did, and the rest, as they say, is history.